Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. Today we're going to be harvesting some of our squashes, so let's get started. So it's now October. It's October the 8th, Sunday, and it's a beautiful sunrise this morning. Look at that. Like, the camera never gives it justice, but just be like, oh wow, Nick, that's truly beautiful. In fact, I'll take a picture of it, see if I can get it better on my phone. Beautiful, all nice and orangey. Oh, actually, no, not too bad. So I thought I'd come down here because I'm getting a bit of rodent damage on some of my pumpkins, and as you know, we grow our pumpkins for our daughter. I was gonna say the baby, she's 9, so I don't really want them to be destroyed, so we're gonna go ahead and harvest them today. But of course, because it's me, I have no idea, like not even the foggiest, of where I've put my secateurs. So I have this horrible habit, I don't know if you guys do this, but like I put things down when I'm gardening and I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to pick that up later, and then life happens, I lose them, so I need to buy some more. But it's okay because I've got my hori knife, which is honestly alright, godsend. So let's see how badly I butcher these pumpkins. Just FYI, when I harvested yesterday, did you see the rodent damage? Now I'm thinking that must be a rat, right? Or I don't think it's a rabbit. Like, anyway, they don't even eat it, they kind of chew it off and then just spit it out, which is really weird. But you can see the damage on this, but it's okay because I've fed one of my one of my spaghetti squash went to the chickens, and this one goes to the chicken as well. The seeds of these are really important for natural worming, so it's a beautiful cycle. So I'm just leaving this one in the greenhouse. Did you see that bug just flew in my face? To harden off, and then I'll be giving it to the chickens because it will not keep with that damage. If it was something like that, do you see a little blemish there? Just there? Then I'd be like, that's fine. I've got a couple with little nicks in them. That'd be fine, but that is just going to mould. So anything that's worth harvesting, we're going to harvest now. It's actually angry. Oh, there's a big spider. This pumpkin, when this pumpkin was growing, I was like, oh, is it worth keeping, is it not? But look at it, it's huge. It's a little bit scarred up because obviously it was growing across the floor, but that's okay. Look at the little lumps on it. Before I stab myself in the face, do you see the lumps on it? Isn't that cool? I was expecting it to be a lot more lumpy, being called a zombie pumpkin, but it's lumpy enough. This will be one of our carvers. This is another zombie. Oh, there's a cricket. It's alive. There's a buzzard growing here. They seem to grow everywhere in my patch. Oh, that's a really good one. Get the filth off of one side. Okay, so how do you know your pumpkins are ready? As you can see down there, the vine is completely died off. Also, it's like, if you take your fingernail, I don't have fingernails, if you had fingernails and you put it in, it's actually, you can't get your fingernail through the hard skin. That, and it's all gone orange if it's a pumpkin. If it's like a butternut squash, it's all gone that sort of butternut squash colour. But this one is a pretty good one, pretty good weight to it. I'm going to be struggling to get these to the car. I really like the lumpy and bumpy effect on it. And all you do to store those is leave them in a place where it's not under direct sunlight, and they'll go ahead and cure and become super hard. And if you're not carving them for Halloween, you can keep them for months and months just in your garage on a shelf, which is good. And the mice, no interest in them. So I know it's not mice that are having an issue here on the allotment. So this one is called a giant pumpkin. I always find the giant pumpkin somewhat disappointing every year, as you can see. It's not a bad size. There we go. you can see that there's a bit of damage there, and that wasn't from a rodent, that was from Jasmine. Because Jasmine was seeing if it was done and hitting it with a pole. I think this pole. This was very wrinkly. It's a heavy one. But if you do get a little bit of surface damage like that and you just leave it, it will scar and it will be perfectly fine. That'll be fine till Halloween. Halloween's only at the end of the month. This is so heavy. It's heavier than the two of them combined. Not so bad so far. Not so bad. Onwards, upwards. That's just our spare pumpkins on that side. So let's see what the other side has in store. It's almost time, you know, for where we get like the winter's coming in. It's time for resting soon and time to do all the relaxing horse manure jobs. Or to fall into the gate. So just about here we have a green butternut squash. You can see that it is green all around it, and all of the leaves are green, the stem is green, the actual butternut squash is green. That is not ready. But a beautiful flower. It's a bigger example of butternut squash that's not quite ready. There were a few here, but I've already taken them this day. But my camera died, so I actually decided not to go ahead and so I decided the other day not to charge my camera, and it was dead, so I don't know why I did that. Right, so this one here, still not ready. You can see there's green on one side and it's very splotchy still. We don't want to take that, it will not last. Unless you're like hungry and you're like, I can't wait, then it's worth taking. If not, just let it go. It'll get bigger and it'll have harder skin. Not ready. This one here is very close to being ready. Do you see it? This side is really ripe. As you can see, I thought I was just seeing that one. This side's getting much riper. It's also spongy to the touch. You just simply know it's not ready. I came over here today, I was like, there's so many that are ready. I think I completely, utterly, misguidedly did that. This one is ready, so it's everything we're looking for, really. Now, what I like to do is just double check the time. Yep, this is the only one on this line, so I can just go ahead and cut it like this. Now, this is a good butternut squash, and I'll show you why. It is the butternut squash colour all over. It is hard to touch, can't get your fingernail in it. It does obviously need to be cured. And what I do is I cut the stem off, only if there's no more butternut squash growing on it, which makes it very, very good for storing. You do not want to use this as a handle. This breaks off and it doesn't seal around the edge and it allows rot to get in. We've got some huge butternut squashes this year and I will show you some pictures of them because, like I said, I was harvesting last year and we just simply didn't have the camera. But look, they're so pretty. It's one of the reasons I grow them. Do you see that? They're the Jerusalem artichokes and they have beautiful flowers on them. The bees love them and I love them because this year it's actually, there's not very many flowers about, so they're very special. So the next one is sweet potato squashes. So there's quite a few of these bad boys. I've never done these before, so bear with me. It's a bit of an experiment. Oh, it's covered in big spiders. Oh, that was easy. They're just falling off. It's a sweet potato squash. I quite like squashes that are a little bit small because I can use them like that. Will be good for me just as a dinner, which will be really nice because not everybody in the house likes squash. So I like the individual ones. I think they're quite cute as well. This next squash I actually did really badly on. Last year I got loads of them. I think I had 2 plants, got loads of them and they were huge. But come have a look at this. I keep forgetting to show you this. This here is the damage. You see how they just spit it out on the floor? Isn't that weird? They just spat it out. left it on the floor. I can't see any droppings there, so I don't understand what that is. This is the tiny potato squash plant. Do you see it? This last year was like huge, like I couldn't even get close to it. It was taller than I was. And it's come off without. But bright sides, that is perfect for me for dinner. Mental, isn't it? So, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.